really enjoyed what you did. They appreciate the school district and you, going forward and doing that for them. They just had a great time. And,
Good.
So it was a good weekend for us. And so they really did. That's all I heard about the dinner. The guys got the bus, you got this, and so they really enjoyed it. And really impressed that you was able to do that for them.
They charged $100 a person admission, right?
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding.
A little more than that, but not.
No, I was happy to do it.
But
I'm
they
glad
did have a great time. They really appreciated it.
Good.
So.
Good. Well, it was really nice talking with her, and she seemed to be full of energy and helping organize the event. So just to piggyback on what Doug said earlier, definitely Kennedy Homecoming went very well. Parade was a big hit. If you haven't seen it already, I've got pictures of the parade and cheerleaders and homecoming from Kennedy up on the district Facebook. Truman's will be there very soon, and so make sure you check that out. Third grade reading retention bill has passed the House and Senate. It's on the way to the governor. Definitely this has been a much contested bill. It was tabled last go round, and one thing that's a little interesting and peculiar here is that the compromise of this bill that came out of the committee includes a parent-initiated good cause exemption, which does allow a parent to exempt the retention for good cause, but a piece of the bill that I personally supported is no longer there, and that is the teacher or principal appeal. So one part of the bill used to allow a teacher, third grade teacher, or the building principal to make an appeal on an exception to that rule, and that part's been stricken. So this bill is currently on the way to the governor and working with Mary Ann to take a look at options as we move forward, towards curricular alignment at the elementary level district-wide, taking a look at title and at-risk funding, and our use of our school improvement coordinator's time. And part of what we talked about earlier with Young Fives actually plays right into this. So, do we have our youngest learners who are coming in maximally prepared to be successful? Because developmentally, that's a pretty big hurdle. Hats off to Michelle Hernandez at Moody Elementary for working with Thor, Leanne, Michelle Marshall, and Chief of Police Mary Sklavasi, as well as a group of concerned parents. This is something I became aware of last week, that there had been some concern, I guess, with just some car rider traffic blocking some of the roads right around, right at the end of the day at dismissal time. And so I called over to Michelle just to see if she needed any help, and by the time I got a hold of her, she had already gotten together a group of concerned parents. They went out, they took a look at it with Thor and Michelle Marshall, and they come up with a plan to ease the flow and kind of reroute some things. So it sounds like they have it under control. I've not been over there to watch it personally, but it's on my to-do list. So big thanks to her and the group for working that out. Penny and the finance office have worked hard on the DEP, which of course the finance committee talked about early today. And thanks for Penny, all your work and your office's work on pulling all these facts and figures together to put this in place. Mary Ann and I are working with Carla Sheenavar for getting some 21st century programming support at Myers. Carla called us and has offered to help support Myers children and families as part of their designation as an SRO priority school, and Principal Tamara Jones-Jackson is working hard with all of her support groups as well as Reading Corps to build those programs of support at Myers. So much appreciated to Carla for her offer. So we'll be working on that this coming week. And lastly, before I jump up and do a little PowerPoint for you, I'm continuing my work with Teresa, preparing for the election in November. I've secured enhancement millage flyers, which I have over there beside the agenda for the board meeting tonight. And each of the members, board members, have one at your seat. Just to help us get the messaging out on this topic. And a big thank you. I don't know if she knows what I got her into, but a big thank you to Jamie. I called Jamie and asked for her help serving as the Taylor School District Community Parent Liaison to help me really to connect me with groups, local businesses, and for example the senior center and some other places that I can go as the district superintendent as I talk about the enhancement millage and then the Taylor School District bond. And the email Jamie sent back was single-spaced and 2 full pages long, and probably probably had 18 businesses enumerated and umpteen people who were, important contacts and business owners, and so big thank you to Jamie. You've probably been contacted by Randy Leafa for your first meeting, so I know that'll be some time on your day, but I really appreciate it, as you definitely know more folks than I do at this point, so thank you so much.
I'm honored. Thank you.
So I think without further ado, unless there are any questions on this part, I see that Ms. Webb has the PowerPoint ready to go, and thank you for that. I'll run over here and talk from here. Can you mind advancing that for me? We'll step over here just so I can see it better. Yeah, you can jump ahead. Thank you. So in November, again, just part of the discussion tonight is what will we see on the ballot? We know we have an important presidential race. We have a lot of other things on the ballot. There will also be two things on the ballot that pertain to Wayne County or the Taylor School District. And the first of those that I'll talk about is the Wayne County Regional Enhancement Millage. And so just to give a little backdrop, let's start with what is this? What is an enhancement millage? Since 1994, the state of Michigan really controls school funding. We all know about Proposal A. We all know about the foundation grant and how we receive funding based on our per pupil count. There really only is one exception in the law to this, and that is a countywide regional enhancement millage. Local districts can request a millage proposal be put before voters. However, in order to do so, you have to have more than 50%. So it's a simple majority, 50.01% of the membership throughout the county. All the local districts have to have their boards approve this resolution to actually get it on the ballot. So this millage, the enhancement millage, was tried not too long ago, and it failed 49 to 51. It was really, really a close vote. But at that time, of the 33 districts in the county, they had barely over half supporting it. So a little bit of good news on this one, thanks to Wayne County's effort through RISA, we have over 75% of our county member districts that are fully behind this particular initiative. So just to give you a little perspective on where we were last time and then where we are now. Kim, thank you. So again, going on, I may have jumped a slide as I spoke, but it must be approved on a countywide basis. And again, it passes or fails on a countywide basis. So even if it were to pass in one district and fail in another, if it passes overall, every district in the county is the recipient of these funds. And then if it fails, obviously it doesn't matter if it passes in a local district, nobody gets the additional enhancement millage funds. The process is, if passed, then the money is funneled through the ISD, and then it would come to the member district, so Taylor School District as well as all the others in the county, as soon as the midwinter tax collection. So the money would actually come this year. And one of the things that I've learned in my short time here is what some of our needs are, and those are many. Those include things like roofs, things like new buses, and so forth. I'll get into some of those things a little later on. But the nice thing is the millage money actually would become available mid-year this year and impact this year's budget. Each district has their say, based on the board's discretion, as to how we earmark the RISA enhancement millage funds and how we decide to spend those. So that is nice. Unlike a sinking fund or other types of funds, they're essentially unrestricted. They're subject to the whim of the school board at the local level. Next slide. So the specific proposal reads as this. It will be on the ballot in November. It's 2 mills to be levied over 6 years. And if you look at the cost there on the right, this would, for the average home value, let's say of $100,000, breaks down to about $8 a month. Money goes to local schools again mid-year, and they've taken a look across the different taxable valuations throughout the county and blended those. And what RISA's come up with is approximately $385 and some pennies per student for each district. So the math equation then is pretty simple. You take 385, multiply it by our fall count. and so how many are in the building, when we do count day in October, and then over the next 20 days after that. And so what we've come up with for Taylor School District is this for us means approximately $2.6 million a year for the next 6 years. And that is not insignificant. I made a quick phone call to Leanne and Thor. I said, "Do you think you could come up with a list?" And they said we could triple that amount in a heartbeat. And that's just maintenance of facility. That doesn't talk about buses. That doesn't talk about class size reduction. That doesn't talk about educational enhancements, technology enhancements, all those other things. So definitely, we could have some uses for these funds. Next slide.